Hey guys, second try. Welcome to today's video and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a Teas, Dramas, and Scandals episode 13. I see you have your favorite lollipop. And today, this is the series, if you don't know, that I go through and cover different dramas that has happened throughout the community. We evaluate it, we see what was wrong with it, and hopefully we have people who do not make the same mistake multiple times. But anyways, let's get into it. So today, we are really going to be focusing on the racism scandal with Jeffree Star. So I love Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I think that the man really knows his formulas, and I actually am one to say that the price is worth his formula. It's actually really, really good. So, there is this... Jeffree Star has actually kind of been a celebrity longer than he's been on YouTube. So if you don't know, Jeffree Star actually started out as a singer. And he's actually been paying a lot of homage to his singer days lately with a lot of his launches, like Beauty Killer 2. And ironically, the palette I'm going to be using today, the Weirdo palette. This scandal actually came to light during the Jeffree Star versus Kat Von D. I guess like Kat Von D fans who were taking Kat's side had ended up finding out like this video of Jeffree Star. So I'm actually going to be talking about the two instances that are on the internet of Jeffree Star with racism. And Jeffree Star is actually, in my opinion, pretty synonymous with racism now, because he's still accused of it to this day. And honestly, whether you love or hate the man, he does make really good makeup, and that is all I'm going to say. Even if you hate his morals, which I don't know if he is still racist, if he is still sorry, because you definitely have to take into consideration age and, you know, education, because when we are talking about this, we are actually talking about, you know, early 2000s. And yes, racism, no matter what year, is horrible and stupid and gross. But it's true when you say, like, okay, he was kind of young. So maybe the scene that he hung out with, he didn't actually know that it was wrong. And I'm also using my Baby Glam palette for the first time. So that is how I kind of look at this. There are two different scenarios where Jeffree Star was found yelling out the N-word to a woman of color in public. And I believe the video is still available. You can actually go and check it out for yourself if you are curious. And there is another one where Jeffree Star is filming a video with a friend, and they made some very lewd comments to women of color. Like saying things such as splashing battery acid on a woman of color to lighten her skin tone. That's not funny, and it never was funny, and it never should have been said, and I'm sure he realizes that now and regrets it now. But these are the two really big, kind of like what he's accused of that I can find today. And it's like actual, like, you can go back and find him. Like, you can still go back and find what I'm talking, like, what I'm talking about. You can still go back and find it. So, I know I'm so excited to use this. I love Natasha's shimmers. Although, whether Jeffree Star is racist or not, I don't think it's okay. Like, okay, some people kind of see like an eye for an eye. Well, an eye for an eye leaves the world blind. That is a saying that I love to think of in situations like this, because people think because he's racist, it's okay for people to threaten his family. Now, his family has nothing to do with the things that he says and the things that he does. Because I remember in the video I'm talking about where he addressed it, he said that people were threatening his family. Now, racism is something that I really kind of like, I feel for, because, okay, my kids are mixed race, yes. That is something that is an issue, and I worry about it. I mean, it's not an issue that they're mixed race. It's an issue that I worry about it because people are cruel. People are really, really cruel. And I worry about my children going to school and somebody saying, why do you have a black dad and a white mom? Even though Brandon is mixed, it's just like, it's things to worry about. Like, that I worry about. Because kids are cruel. And that is the truth. And clearly, we still have racism in today's society. So, like, I just don't even know, like, where to go with this whole situation, because there is people who came out and said that Jeffree Star is still racist and still uses those words to this day. So it really just depends on, like, who you believe and what you believe. Do I think Jeffree Star is still racist? I don't feel like I actually have an opinion in the matter, because I don't hang out with Jeffree Star. I don't know what he says in his personal time and what he's, like, who he says it to. So, like, yes, he could still be racist, but I don't know. And I don't have an opinion on it because I can't say for sure, yes, he is racist, or no, he isn't racist. I can defend it. I can't. But at the same time, racism isn't a problem that I've ever had to deal with other than worrying about my children. And that is the first time I've ever, like, had to worry about racism, is when I had children. So I don't really feel like I can have a say in the matter, other than saying I worry about my children when they get older for other cruel kids, because there is still racism in today's society. And I mean, like, look at it. Like, even during COVID, we had so many people of color shot. And it was, like, for no reason. So, like, I'm gonna throw this away, but I have a backup one. I just, like, I don't know. I wish racism was never a thing, to be completely honest, because it's honestly stupid when you think about it. Like, people who have a different pigmentation to their skin. That's all a person of color is. Somebody who has a different pigmentation in their skin than somebody like me. Like, that's all it is. So, I mean, I don't understand why anybody had to say, because you have a different skin color than me, I have a right to treat you and so horribly. You know, like, I just don't understand it. And it just doesn't make sense to me, because, again, like, all it is a difference in pigmentation in your skin.
Oh no! Pete must have locked the gate! How are we gonna get out?
Really. And I think that people who are okay with, like, racism and stuff like that are just, like, bigots, honestly. I mean, even to this day, like, when I go out with my kids, when I go out with Kai and stuff like that, like, okay, I'm gonna use today as an actual example. I went to the park with my dad, and I took both Jackson and Kai, and we had the time of our lives. Kai literally had the time of his life. Put Jackson on a baby swing, and Jackson was swinging, and he was having the time of his life. He was happy as hell. You know, he was actually laughing and giggling. Same for Kai. And, I mean, we had so many people looking at us and just, like, giving me, like, the most gross looks ever, just because of Kai being a different skin color and Jackson being, you know, a different skin color than me, because they weren't pure white. And that's just crazy when you think about it, that And like I look at it and I'm like, it's just so stupid because like my children are so loving and they're going to get judged over the fact of their skin colors.
That's not Donald. Ew.
And it's not actually something I really thought of before I had them. Like, I never really thought when I was with Brandon, like, oh my gosh, I worry about our future children. Like, it was an afterthought, but it wasn't like an actual thought until I had children. And now I'm so worried about them, and I don't want them to be judged just because of their skin color. And in this situation of drama, they were like, there was people who were judged, and it's sick and disgusting and gross, to be completely honest, because nobody should be judged on their skin color. Nobody. But again, like, it's not my situation to even talk about, honestly. Like, I really have no say in anything with this, and I don't have a right to, because I don't have a right to accept an apology from anybody who is racist or not. I feel like when the community accepts you and says, okay, we understand you made a mistake and you called somebody the N-word and you were young. I feel like that is going a step forward and the right direction with racism. But at the same time, it's kind of like Jeffree Star was in the public eye. And my question is, would he have made the racism apology had he not kind of like, in a way, been forced to? Because, I mean, like, it was a big scandal, so it's kind of like, was the apology really sincere? And does he still, like, say those words? Or was the apology sincere? And does he understand the weight and the magnitude of his words? That is the big question. And people have actually come out and said that he still uses these words. So it makes you wonder. But then we have the people who are just using Jeffree Star. And saying that he says these words. Just for clout. And unfortunately, at the time, I don't see really more now. But at the time, you know, Jeffree was a very big person, like, public person, and everything is really online nowadays with influencers. So when you said his name and racism in the same sentence, it got a lot of views. Now with this racism stuff, I want to bring something up. And that is the Jeffree Star versus Jackie Aina situation. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a full episode of Teas, Dramas, and Scandals on this tea, drama, and scandal, but I do want to highlight it in here because I think it is extremely important to people who are looking for information on the situation of Jeffree Star's racism. And that is when Jackie Aina did an anti-haul and said she did not want to support Jeffree Star Cosmetics because of his racist past, which is completely up to her, and she should not be faulted for it because, I mean, that's up to her not wanting to support somebody that is racist and she is a woman of color, or said person was racist to women of color. That is completely up to her. She got a ton of backlash from Jeffree Star himself, stating that he called her a gorilla on Twitter. And yes, that's not the same as saying the N-word, but it kind of is. So my question is, since we know this, and this situation with Jackie Aina that I'm talking about happens to have happened many years after this whole racism first happening scandal. Or, I mean, not the scandal itself. I'm sorry, Kai is all over me right now. But not the scandal itself, but when he had said it, the racist things that I don't want to repeat. So, do you think that he should have a pass for his racist past? Just because he was so young, he was younger, and we really honestly didn't know a lot about what was going to happen with influencers in the future and stuff like that. Because in my mind, I am inclined to believe that he is still a little racist, just because of the fact that he did call Jackie Aina a gorilla. But this is literally the opinion of a white woman, not an opinion that matters.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
You know, so that is my question. So, in conclusion, my opinion doesn't matter. But I do think that racism is a serious situation and it needs to be calmed. I really hope it does not exist in the future. I probably won't see it because people are racist and they're assholes. But I don't know. I think that it's important that we shine light on said situations. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell, all that social media great stuff, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys!